A ruthless mobster buys a blind girl from her drunk father, but when he discovers her hidden sight, their dangerous lives intertwine in unexpected ways. The sun set over the city, casting long shadows across the sleek black cars parked outside the nightclub. Inside, the music pulsed. Men in sharp suits laughed and clinked their glasses. At the center of it all stood Marco Russo, a powerful mobster with a reputation that made people nervous. His dark eyes scanned the room, looking for something or someone. At the back corner, a girl sat alone. Her name was Lily. She wore a simple dress but had an air of defiance. Her father had sold her for a quick drink, and now she was stuck in a place filled with smoke and noise. She gripped her glass tightly, her heart racing. She couldn't see the faces around her, but she could feel their eyes. They were watching her. Marco approached her, his presence commanding. The crowd parted like water. "What's a pretty thing like you doing here?" he asked, his voice low. She turned her head slightly, sensing him near. "I'm not here for the party," she replied, her voice steady. "Just trying to avoid drunk men." Marco chuckled, but there was something serious in his gaze. "You've got guts. I like that." He leaned closer, the faint scent of his cologne mixing with the smoke. "What if I told you I could get you out of here?" His offer hung in the air, thick with tension. Lily narrowed her eyes. "What's the catch?" She had seen enough to know nothing came free. "No catch, just a chance." He paused, studying her. "I run this city. I can protect you." The tension between them crackled. She wasn't sure if he was sincere or playing a game. "I don't need a protector," she shot back, her voice clear. "I can take care of myself." Marco smirked, intrigued. "You're not like the others." He reached out, brushing a finger against her arm, and she flinched. "But you might need help to escape your father." Her breath caught in her throat. He knew. The truth sold her like a cheap drink. In that moment, something shifted. A flicker of understanding passed between them. Marco stepped back, his eyes narrowing. "You might be more than you seem." He hesitated, the weight of his offer lingering. "You should think about it." The air thickened with unspoken tension as he turned to leave, leaving Lily alone with a rush of confusion and possibility. She was about to cross a line. Lily watched Marco walk away. Her heart raced. He had left her with more questions than answers, but she couldn't ignore the tension. She could feel it in the air. It was thick and heavy, like smoke. Then she heard a voice. It was her father, slurring his words, stumbling through the crowd. "Lily, where are you?" Her stomach dropped. "I'm here, Dad," she called out, trying to sound brave. He approached, his face flushed, eyes glazed. "You've been hiding. I told you to stick close." She clenched her fists, anger boiling inside her. "You sold me!" she shot back, not caring who heard. Marco turned at the sound of her raised voice. He moved closer again, curiosity piqued. "What's going on?" he asked, his voice low but firm. Lily pointed her chin at her father. "Just a family reunion." Marco's gaze hardened. "You shouldn't be here with him." "I can handle myself," she replied, her voice steady. But her father grabbed her arm, almost falling over in the process. "You're coming with me!" he barked. Panic surged through her. She pulled away. Marco stepped forward, a dark cloud shadowing his features. "Let her go," he commanded. Her father looked between them, eyes wide. "Who do you think you are?" Marco leaned in, his voice cold. "The one who decides what happens next." He turned to Lily. "Do you want to escape this?" She looked at him, heart pounding. There was something in his eyes, a promise. "Yes," she whispered almost to herself. Marco faced her father again. "How about this? A bet. You give me one night with her, and I'll make sure you never drink again." Her father hesitated. The stakes were high, but the allure of cash was tempting. Marco added, "You walk away with more than you have now." The silence stretched. "Deal." Lily swallowed hard. She could feel the weight of the choice. Everything in her wanted to run. But this could be her chance. As her father nodded reluctantly, a chill ran down her spine. She was tied to Marco now. Someone was listening in the dark. Lily stepped away from her father, moving closer to Marco. The nightclub felt even louder now. She could hear the bass pounding, but her focus was on Marco's intense gaze. "You think I'll just go with you?" she challenged, crossing her arms. Marco smirked, confidence radiating from him. "You don't have a choice, sweetheart." He moved in, closing the distance. "Your father made a deal." She felt her heart race. "I don't care about his deal. I can handle myself." She straightened, trying to appear defiant. "That's cute," he said with a chuckle. "But you're in no position to argue." He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You think you're tough? You have no idea what real strength looks like." A fire ignited in her chest. "Real strength doesn't come from power plays, Marco. It comes from within." He raised an eyebrow, impressed but still dominant. "You're feisty. I like that." He stepped back, giving her space, but she could feel the heat between them. "Don't think that will make me go easy on you." She took a breath, her anger simmering just below the surface. "I don't need your approval." "Maybe not," he replied, leaning against the bar, "but you could use my protection." His tone softened slightly. "This life, it's dangerous. You're not ready for it." She scoffed, shaking her head. "You don't know me. Don't pretend you do." He pushed off the bar and stepped close again. "I know enough," he said, voice low. "I know you're not as blind as you pretend." Her breath hitched at his words. "What do you mean?" she asked, curiosity creeping in. "You see more than you let on. That's rare." The challenge hung in the air, heavy and electric. She frowned, unsure if she wanted to explore it. Marco watched her with keen interest. "What if I promise to show you how to survive in this world?" he asked, a hint of sincerity in his eyes. "I could teach you." She hesitated, feeling the pull of attraction mixed with pride. "Teach me," she echoed, disbelief in her voice. "You think this is a game?" Marco smiled, a dark glint in his eyes. "No games, just reality, and trust me, you'll want to learn. One move would change everything." Lily crossed her arms, feeling the weight of the moment. "What do you mean I'm not blind?" she challenged. Marco leaned back, a sly grin on his face. "You know things. You see more than most. You just can't admit it." She frowned, trying to process his words. What did he know about her? "Let's set some ground rules," Marco said, stepping forward. He was serious now. "You agree to stay with me, and I'll keep your father away. But—" He paused, eyeing her closely. "You follow my rules. No wandering off. No arguments." She narrowed her eyes. "And if I don't?" He leaned in, his voice low and intense. "Then I'll make it clear to your father how I protect my investments." The way he said investments sent a chill down her spine. There was no mistaking it. She was a pawn in his game. "You're saying I'm a threat to your business," she replied, trying to keep her cool. "Not a threat. A liability," he corrected, smirking. "This life is messy. If you cause trouble, people get hurt, and I don't want blood on my hands." She hesitated, feeling the gravity of his words. What kind of trouble could she create? "What happens if I break your rules?" she asked, her voice steady. "I'll have to teach you a lesson," he said, eyes narrowed. "And trust me, I'm not gentle." His smile faded, replaced with something darker. "But this is a warning, Lily. I'll protect you. I won't let anyone touch you. But you need to play by my rules." She felt a rush of defiance. "You think you can just control me?" He raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Control? No. Guide, maybe. But if you push me, I'll make sure you regret it." Silence fell between them. She was torn. Part of her wanted to fight back, to prove she was strong. The other part felt drawn to him, wanting to know more. "What if I refuse?" she asked, her heart racing. Marco took a step back, hands in his pockets. "You'll have a choice. Stick with me or go back to your father. Choose wisely." The weight of his words hung in the air. "But know this, you're in deeper than you think." She felt a mix of fear and excitement. How deep was she willing to go? Lily stood her ground, arms crossed. "You think you can control me?" she challenged, staring straight at Marco. He tilted his head, a small smirk playing on his lips. "Control isn't my goal, but I can't let you run wild. Too much at stake." He took a step closer, lowering his voice. You're in a world where decisions have consequences. You need to learn that. Learn what? She shot back, her heart racing. That I should just follow you blindly? He chuckled softly. Not blindly. I want you to see, to understand how everything works, that power can be used in many ways. He leaned in, his gaze piercing. Or it can crush you if you don't play it right. Lily felt the weight of his words. And you think you're the one to teach me? She replied, trying to sound dismissive. Marco grinned, clearly enjoying the banter. If you want to survive here, yeah, I can show you how to navigate. He straightened, crossing his arms. But you have to trust me. Trust was a strong word. You expect me to just hand that over? She challenged, fists still clenched. Marco stepped back, giving her space. Trust is earned, not given, he said. But if you keep resisting, you'll only make this harder for yourself. His eyes softened for a brief moment. I don't want you to get hurt. Lily scoffed, shaking her head. And you think making deals with my father is the way to protect me? He shrugged, unfazed. It's the only way I could keep you safe tonight. I'm not the villain here, Lily. I'm your best option. He leaned in again, his tone low and intense. You can keep fighting me, or you can learn how to wield your own strength. The room buzzed around them, but all she felt was the tension between them. A challenge hung in the air. You think I'll just give in? She asked, daring him. Marco smirked, eyes glinting with mischief. I think you'll see the value in what I offer, but it's your choice. He paused, letting the moment linger. And I always enjoy a good game. He thought he was in control. He wasn't. The gala was crowded, full of laughter and chatter. Lily stood beside Marco, feeling out of place in her formal dress. The lights were dim, with chandeliers hanging low. She could hear the clinking of glasses and the low hum of conversations around them. Marco scanned the room, his posture tense. Stay close, he said, glancing down at her. Yeah, I get it, she replied, her tone sharp. I'm not going to disappear. She felt the weight of his gaze. Marco's presence was overwhelming, but it also made her feel safe. Despite her irritation, she couldn't deny she wanted to be near him. Just follow my lead, he added, his eyes serious. These people are unpredictable. An auction was about to start. The auctioneer took the stage, his voice booming through the room. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's highlight. A rare piece from the Valente collection. Gasps filled the air, and people gathered closer. Marco leaned down to whisper, keep your eyes open. Watch how they interact. She nodded, taking in the scene. The tension in the room was palpable. As the bidding began, Marco's hand found hers. It was a small gesture, but it sent a jolt through her. What are you doing? She whispered, pulling her hand away. He smirked, his confidence unshaken. Just reminding you I'm here. She tried to hide her blush. It felt so easy to be drawn to him, even in a room full of danger. Suddenly, a loud crash interrupted the auction. A table tipped over, drinks spilling everywhere. People gasped, and the atmosphere shifted. Marco's grip tightened on her arm. Stay close, he warned, scanning the chaos. She felt her heart racing. What just happened? She asked, her voice barely above the noise. Someone's testing the waters, he replied, his tone grim. Keep your eyes on the exits. Just then, a man approached them, eyes dark and intent. Marco, you shouldn't have brought her here, he said, voice cold. Marco straightened, moving slightly in front of Lily. That's my business, he snapped. The tension crackled between them. Lily felt the weight of his protective stance. What was about to happen next? Lily's heart raced as Marco faced the man. Tension hung in the air, and she could feel Marco's strength. But beneath that strength, she sensed something else. A vulnerability. What do you mean? Marco asked, his voice low. The man's gaze flickered to her, then back to Marco. You're risking too much bringing her here. Lily took a step closer to Marco. What's going on? She asked, her voice steady. Marco didn't answer. He just stared down the man, his jaw clenched. She could feel the heat radiating off him. I can handle myself, she added, trying to sound tough. The man shrugged, his eyes narrowing. Not in this world, sweetheart. Suddenly, Marco broke eye contact. He looked away, shifting his weight. "You don't know her," he said quietly, almost to himself. Lily caught a glimpse of something raw in his eyes. Behind that tough exterior, he was hiding. "What do you mean?" she pressed, wanting to know more. She stepped closer, searching for answers. A flash of pain crossed Marco's face. "I lost someone once, someone I could have protected." His voice dropped, revealing a crack in his armor. "It still haunts me." Lily felt a pang in her chest. "What happened?" she asked, her anger melting away. He hesitated, then let out a long breath. She didn't see the danger. "I thought I had time to save her, but I was too late." The room felt smaller, the noise fading into the background. Marco's vulnerability was shocking. "I didn't know," she said softly. "I'm sorry." He met her gaze, his walls still high but starting to crumble. "That's why I can't let you go," he murmured. "I can't lose anyone else." The truth hung between them, heavy and raw. Lily felt a rush of understanding. "You don't have to protect me like that," she said, moving a little closer. "I can take care of myself." Marco shook his head slowly. "It's not just about you. It's about keeping this life in balance." He looked around, still alert, but she could see he was letting his guard down, even just a little. "But if you push me too far..." "Then what?" she challenged, the tension returning. "You'll just shut me out, like you did with her." Marco's expression hardened, but there was a flicker of something else, something deeper. "Don't test me, Lily. I don't want to close off again." She felt the weight of those words. She had to decide, would she let him in or keep pushing him away? Lily felt the tension in the air shift as Marco faced the man. She could see the anger in Marco's eyes. He was ready for a fight. "Back off, Leo," Marco said, voice low and steady. Leo sneered, his stance aggressive. "You think you can protect her here? You're playing with fire." Lily stepped up, her heart pounding. "I can take care of myself," she shot back. Marco's gaze flicked to her, then back to Leo. "You don't know her," he warned. Leo laughed hollowly. "I know trouble when I see it." Marco's jaw tightened, and he took a step forward, putting himself between them. "You don't want to push me on this." Lily felt a rush of confidence. Marco had her back, but she wasn't just some damsel in distress. Suddenly the lights flickered, and the auctioneer's voice turned frantic. "Everyone, please stay calm." Marco turned to Lily. "We need to move. Stay with me. Don't stray." She nodded, following him closely as he guided her through the crowd. Marco's grip on her arm was firm but protective. "What's happening?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "Just stay alert," he replied, scanning the room. They pushed through the throng of guests, but Leo followed them, a dark shadow. "You can't keep her safe, Marco," he shouted. Marco spun around, his expression fierce. "Watch me." He stepped toward Leo, ready for a confrontation. Lily felt a surge of fear and admiration. He was willing to fight for her. "Stop!" Lily yelled, stepping between them. "This isn't helping." Marco paused, his eyes softening as he registered her presence. "Lily, I can't..." But she cut him off. "You can't protect me from everything. I'm not helpless." Her voice was strong, and she felt empowered. Marco hesitated, then took a deep breath. "All right, but I'll never let you face this alone." In that moment, loyalty shifted between them. Marco's protective nature matched her growing strength. "Let's get out of here," he said, looking at her with respect. But as they turned to leave, the doors slammed shut. Panic swept through the crowd, and Lily's heart raced. "What now?" she whispered, gripping Marco's arm tightly. Marco's eyes narrowed as he assessed their options. "We fight our way out." She felt the thrill of danger and knew she was all in now. The next hit was closer than they knew. The night dragged on, and the panic from the gala faded. Marco had led Lily to his car, the engine rumbling softly. They both sat in silence for a moment, the tension still crackling in the air. Marco broke it first. "That was intense," he said, running a hand through his hair. Lily nodded, her heart still racing. "You really scared Leo," she replied. a small smile creeping onto her face. He glanced at her, surprised. "You enjoyed that?" She shrugged, looking out the window. "I liked standing up for myself. I'm not just some pretty face." Marco chuckled softly. "No, you're definitely more than that." The compliment hung in the air and she felt a warmth spread through her. She could see the spark in his eyes. They pulled up to his apartment building. Marco parked and turned to her. "Want to come up?" Her heart skipped. "What, now?" He shrugged again, a smile playing on his lips. "Just to talk. You did well tonight. I think you deserve a reward." She hesitated but then nodded. "Okay." Inside, the lights were dim, casting shadows across the room. Marco poured them both a drink. "Cheers," he said, raising his glass. "To surviving the night." She clinked her glass against his. "And to standing my ground." They both took a sip, and the atmosphere shifted. It felt lighter, more relaxed. Lily set her glass down and leaned against the counter. "So, tell me, why do you really care about protecting me?" Marco leaned back, studying her. "It's complicated." She crossed her arms, unfazed. "Try me." He let out a long breath. "I don't want to lose someone else. I lost my sister to this world." The moment hung heavy between them. Lily felt a rush of empathy. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I can't imagine." Marco looked down, clearly wrestling with his emotions. I don't want to care too much. It makes you weak." She stepped closer, searching his eyes. But being vulnerable can be strong too. Their gazes locked, the air thick with unspoken feelings. He took a step toward her, his breath steady. "Maybe you're right." Just as their lips almost met, the door swung open with a loud bang. The door flew open and a figure stood there. It was Leo, a smug smile twisting his lips. "Well, well, what do we have here?" he sneered, his eyes narrowing on Marco and Lily. Marco stepped in front of Lily, fists clenching. "Get lost, Leo. You shouldn't be here." Leo laughed, taking a step inside. "Oh, but I think I should. I heard a little something that changes everything." "What do you mean?" Lily asked, confusion creeping in. Leo's gaze flickered to her, then back to Marco. "You think you can protect her? Maybe it's time she knows the truth." Marco tensed. "Shut your mouth." Lily peered around Marco. "What are you talking about?" Leo pulled out his phone, scrolling quickly. "Just some evidence I stumbled upon," he said, raising the screen. "Look closely." He turned the phone so they could see. It was a message, clear as day. "Get rid of the girl. She knows too much." Marco's heart dropped. "That's not what you think," he said, voice low. Lily stepped back, eyes wide. What is this, Marco?" He turned to her, desperate. "Lily, it's not what it looks like." Leo laughed again. "But it is. Your little blind girl here isn't as helpless as she seems, is she?" Marco's jaw tightened. "Stop it." "What did they mean by knows too much?" Lily pressed, feeling betrayed. Marco reached for her but hesitated. "I swear I don't know." Lily's heart raced. She felt cornered. "You brought me into this world. How could you not know?" Marco's expression softened, frustration mixing with regret. "I wanted to protect you." Leo crossed his arms, enjoying the chaos. "Looks like you've got a little problem now, Marco. She's going to either hate you or never trust you again." Marco glared at Leo, then looked back at Lily. "I promise you I will explain everything. Just give me a chance." But the distance between them felt like miles. Lily looked at the message again, her mind racing. "I need to think." Just then her phone buzzed in her pocket. An unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. The voice on the line shook her to her core. "You need to listen. They're coming for you." One move would change everything. Lily felt her heart race as she hung up. "What do you mean they're coming for me?" she whispered, fear creeping in. Marco stepped closer, his expression serious. "Who was that?" "I don't know," she replied, frustration bubbling. Leo smirked, leaning against the wall. "Looks like your little secret is getting out. You might want to decide who you trust." "I trusted you, Marco," Lily said, her voice shaking. "How could you not know about this?" Marco ran a hand through his hair, pacing the room. "I swear I didn't know. I just wanted to keep you safe." "Safe? By hiding things from me?" She took a step back, feeling the weight of betrayal. What else don't I know? Lily, please, Marco pleaded, his eyes intense. I care about you. I was trying to protect you. She shook her head. But you can't protect me if you're lying to me. The distance between them grew. Marco sighed, frustration evident. It's not lying. It's complicated. This world isn't easy. And I obviously don't belong here, she snapped, her emotions spilling out. You wanted to save me by keeping me in the dark. That's not protection. Marco felt his chest tighten. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be safer. I didn't mean to... You didn't mean to what? Break my trust? Lily interrupted, tears stinging her eyes. Leo chuckled, enjoying the scene. You two are really something. This is quite the collapse. Marco shot him a glare, but he couldn't take his eyes off Lily. Don't listen to him. He's trying to drive a wedge between us. Maybe you already did that, she shot back. The pain in her voice cut deep. Lily, don't say that, Marco said, desperation creeping into his tone. You have to believe me. She took a deep breath. I need space. I can't just pretend everything is fine. Marco's heart sank. Does that mean you're leaving? I don't know, she replied, her voice wavering. But I can't do this right now. As she turned to grab her things, Marco felt like the ground was collapsing beneath him. He couldn't let her walk away, but he didn't know how to stop her. One move would change everything. Marco felt the weight of Lily's words. She was right. He had hidden too much. Now he needed to act. I'll fix this, he said, determination in his voice. He took a step toward her. Just give me a chance. But she looked away, hurt and angry. You can't fix it just by saying that. Lily, wait! He felt panic rise in his chest. He wasn't ready to lose her. I'll prove it. I'll give up everything to keep you safe. She turned back, skepticism in her eyes. Everything, like your power, your connections. He nodded, fists clenched. Yes, I'll walk away from it all if that's what it takes. Leo leaned against the doorframe, smirking. You think that'll work? You'd be a joke. Marco shot him a glare. I don't care what you think, Leo. He focused on Lily. This world, it's toxic. I wanted to give you something better. I realize now that hiding the truth hurts more than the truth itself. Lily took a breath, debating. What does that mean for you? Marco stepped closer. I'll cut ties. No more deals, no more schemes. I'll step back from the life I know. A flicker of surprise crossed her face. You'd do that for me? He nodded again. I would do anything for you. It's time I stop being the man everyone expects me to be. Marco. Her voice softened. He saw a glimmer of hope in her eyes. He felt more alive than ever, ready to fight for her trust. Meet me tomorrow. I'll show you. I'll start this today. She hesitated. You really mean it? Absolutely, he replied firmly. I'm not letting fear decide my fate anymore. Leo scoffed, sensing the shift. You're making a mistake, Marco. You'll lose everything. Marco shrugged. Then I gained something more valuable, her trust. He turned back to Lily. Let's do this together. No more secrets. With that, he felt a weight lift off his shoulders, but in the shadows, Leo smirked, plotting his next move. The danger wasn't over yet, but this was only the start. The next day, Lily stood outside the coffee shop, her nerves buzzing. Marco was late. Just as she was about to turn back, she spotted him racing toward her. Sorry! Traffic! He was out of breath, his hair tousled. You ready? Lily nodded but kept her guard up. Let's talk. They settled at a small table, the aroma of coffee swirling around them. Marco leaned in, urgency in his eyes. I want to clarify everything. You deserve the truth. Lily crossed her arms. Then start talking. He took a breath. I thought I was protecting you by keeping you in the dark. I see now how wrong I was. Why didn't you tell me about the threats? She demanded, her voice steady. You could have trusted me. Marco winced. I was scared of losing you. She shook her head. You don't get to decide what I can handle. I want to be part of your world, but I need to know everything. He nodded, his expression serious. Okay, The people I deal with, they're dangerous. They'd use anything against me, even you." Lily's heart raced. "So I'm just a pawn in your game?" "No!" Marco exclaimed, reaching for her hand. "You are not a pawn. I care about you. I want us to be partners, but I need you to trust me." Lily pulled her hand back, processing his words. "Being partners means I need to know I'm not in danger. I won't live in a shadow." Marco's eyes softened. "You won't be. I'll make sure of it. I'll fight for you, for us." She studied him, searching for sincerity. "And if things get tough, will you still want me around?" "Always," he replied, determination in his voice. "I'll fight for our freedom. No lies, no secrets." Their gazes locked, and Lily felt something shift. The weight of uncertainty hung in the air, but so did the promise of something more. She took a deep breath and whispered, "Then, let's decide, Marco. Are you ready to truly share this life with me?" She was about to cross a line. Lily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of Marco's words. "Okay," she said slowly. "Let's try this." Marco's face lit up. "Really?" She nodded, a small smile breaking through her earlier tension. "I need to trust you, Marco. No more secrets." He reached for her hand again. This time she didn't pull away. "I promise," he said, his voice firm. "We'll face everything together." Days turned into weeks. They built a new routine, filled with honest conversations and shared laughter. Marco distanced himself from Leo and his old life. It felt good to be free, but danger was always lurking. One evening, they sat on the couch, pizza boxes scattered around them. "So, what's next for us?" Lily asked, eyes shining. Marco paused, looking serious. "I want to start a business, something legit." She raised an eyebrow. "What kind?" He grinned. "A cafe, a place where people can feel safe. Just like this." Lily's heart swelled. "I love it. But can we really pull this off?" Marco nodded, determination in his eyes. "Together we can do anything." They shared a moment, a promise woven between them. One rainy afternoon, they visited the site of the future cafe. It was empty, but Lily could imagine it bustling with life. "This will be ours," Marco said, excitement bubbling in his voice. She glanced at him, a soft smile on her lips. "You really mean it, don't you?" He took her hand. "Absolutely." As they left, Marco's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. "It's Leo." Lily froze. "What does he want?" Marco shook his head. "I don't know, but I'll handle it." She felt a surge of anxiety. "I don't want you to get pulled back in." He squeezed her hand. "I won't! I swear!" That night they lay in bed, the weight of their choices hanging in the air. "You're not like the rest," Lily murmured. Marco turned to her, a soft smile on his face. "We're building something real. I'm not the man I used to be." She rested her head on his chest, feeling safe. "And I'll stand by you." Weeks later they stood together, the cafe doors opening for the first time. The air smelled of fresh coffee and pastries. Lily looked around, amazed. "We did it," Marco smiled wide. "And we'll keep it safe." She felt the spark of hope. The past was behind them, and a new future awaited. "Ready for this?" he asked, grinning. "Always," she replied, excitement bubbling up. "What would you do to protect the ones you love? Let us know in the comments. But this was only the start."